The universe was quiet that day, or at least as quiet as the edge of the Cygnus sector could be. Captain Leo had been scanning a cluster of uncharted asteroids when his sensors picked up something unusual. A ship, small and damaged, was drifting near a collapsing star. The signature was weak, and yet there was life aboard. Leo adjusted his visor and activated the comms. "This is Captain Leo of the starship Orion. Do you copy?" Static filled the speakers for a moment before a weak, trembling voice replied, "Please help. Ship failing." Without hesitation, Leo maneuvered the Orion closer. The damaged vessel was fragile, its hull scorched and pocked with deep gouges. Inside, he found the occupant a young alien, her skin shimmering in shades of pale blue, her large eyes wide with fear and confusion. She wore an insignia of a royal family, and though she was small and fragile-looking, there was a strange confidence in her posture, even as she shivered. "Don't worry," Leo said, extending a hand. "You're safe now." She looked at him, then slowly nodded. I am Lyra. Thank you." As soon as Leo helped her aboard the Orion, alarms blared. The starship's sensors lit up with multiple contacts approaching at high speed. Raiders. They had been waiting for her. "Hold on," Leo muttered. The Orion's weapons hummed to life, and a tense battle began. Meteors collided with hull plating as the Orion spun through the asteroid field, lasers cutting through the void toward their attackers. But the numbers were too great. One by one, the enemy ships overwhelmed the Orion's shields. Leo and Lyra barely made it to the escape pods. As the pod ejected, Leo glanced back at the Orion, seeing explosions ripple across its hull. He had lost his ship, but at least he had saved her. The pod drifted silently until Lyra's voice broke the quiet. We are not safe. They will follow." Leo looked at her, noting the determined glint in her eyes. "Then we stay ahead of them." Days passed as they navigated through uncharted regions. Leo piloted the pod with careful precision, avoiding patrols and natural hazards. Lyra, though small and seemingly fragile, was constantly alert, scanning for threats and giving directions that only someone familiar with her home systems could know. But one night, as the pod coasted through a nebula, the lights flickered and a soft hum filled the cabin. Lyra's eyes glowed faintly. Before Leo could react, the pod systems locked, and he felt a sudden jolt as if gravity had reversed. "Wait. What are you doing?" Leo shouted. Lyra's voice was calm, almost serene. "I am not your prisoner, and yet you are mine for now. Trust me." The pod twisted, and Leo realized he could not move. Within moments, the pod had been teleported or perhaps captured by a massive ship hiding within the nebula. The interior of the alien vessel was vast, towering, and unlike anything Leo had seen before. Lights shimmered like liquid, and walls shifted as if alive. Lyra led him through the corridors, her movements smooth, confident. "I know you think I betrayed you," she said softly, "but you need to see the truth." They reached a chamber filled with holographic projections of stars, planets, and fleets. Leo's eyes widened as he saw the scale of it. "What is this?" he asked. "This," Lyra said, pointing to a small planet displayed in the center, "is my world, and it is under siege." She explained that the fleet that had attacked them was not a mindless raiding group. They were mercenaries hired to capture her before she could alert the galaxy about an imminent invasion. Her people had been fighting silently, defending their home from a powerful force seeking to enslave entire systems. "And you," she said, turning to him, "saved me. But I had to ensure you stayed alive to understand the stakes. Only humans have the resilience, the courage, the unpredictability that can turn the tide in our favor." Leo frowned. "So you captured me to recruit me?" Lyra smiled faintly. "Not just recruit. to protect, to teach, to see if you are worthy of standing with us. Days turned into weeks as Leo trained aboard Lyra's ship. He learned their technology, their strategies, and the vulnerabilities of their enemies. Every night, he marveled at the alien world projected in simulations, a planet of vast oceans, floating cities, and forests that glimmered under 3 suns. Despite the strangeness, Leo never lost sight of one fact: he was human. And humans had a way of adapting, of thinking differently when all odds seemed impossible. Finally, the day came to strike back. Lyra's fleet, augmented with Leo's strategies, moved toward the enemy stronghold. Leo was given command of a small strike team. His heart raced, but he did not falter. "Remember," Lyra said before they launched, "we fight not just for survival, but for freedom. And sometimes the unexpected choice saves more than any weapon." The battle was brutal. Waves of enemy ships closed in, and lasers tore through the void. But Leo's tactics, unpredictable and daring, gave them an advantage. He led his team through narrow asteroid belts, dodging fire and striking key targets. During the chaos, Lyra's ship was cornered, and Leo realized the full weight of what she had done. She had trusted him, not just with her life, but with the lives of her people. And now, in the middle of battle, humans and aliens fought side by side, a coalition born from trust and necessity. At the climax, Leo found himself face to face with the enemy commander, a massive figure encased in armor that seemed impervious to ordinary weapons. Leo studied him carefully, noting the patterns in his movements. Using a small tactical maneuver learned from observing Lyra's fleet, he exploited the commander's overconfidence, forcing him into a trap that destroyed the enemy flagship. With their leader gone, the remaining forces scattered. The battle was won, but Leo did not feel triumph. Instead, he felt awe, not just for Lyra or her people, but for the universe itself. It was vast, unpredictable, and full of surprises that only those who dared to act could understand. Back aboard Lyra's ship, the alien princess approached him. "You were remarkable," she said. "More than I expected. You humans. You surprise even those of us who have seen centuries of war." Leo smiled. "I didn't do it for praise. I did it because it had to be done." Lyra's expression softened. "And yet, your humanity is what made the difference. Strength comes in many forms, but courage defines the strongest." The war was over, but peace was only beginning. Lyra's people would rebuild, aided by humans who had ventured farther than any explorer had dared. And Leo? He would return to the stars, knowing that humanity had a place among the galaxies, that sometimes one human could tip the balance in ways no technology or weapon could. As the Orion, rebuilt and now enhanced with alien technology, lifted off from the rebuilt planet, Leo gazed at Lyra. She had saved him in a way he hadn't understood at first, captured him to show him the truth, to reveal that humanity's role in the universe was far greater than anyone had imagined. The stars stretched endlessly before him, full of danger, wonder, and hope. And for the first time, Leo realized that the universe was not something to fear, it was something to embrace. With all the courage, ingenuity, and heart that a human could bring, Lyra watched from her command center, her gaze steady. She had trusted a human, and he had not disappointed. Perhaps, she thought, the galaxy would never be the same again. In the silence of space, 2 worlds had collided, not in conflict, but in unity. And somewhere deep in the void, Leo understood the truth. Humans were not alone, and together they could face anything, even the unknown itself. And as the stars passed by, Leo felt a quiet certainty in his heart. He had saved the alien princess, yet in a way, she had saved him too, by showing him that humanity could shine brightest in the darkest corners of the universe. The journey was far from over. But for the first time, humanity had a foothold in the stars, and one human had made all the difference.